When?
just turned 23 September 7th. Last month.
What'd you do for it?
We had like a little party.
Yeah.
And then we were like doing karaoke. And
Yeah.
there was like a bunch of people in my crib. And there was like a little window ledge.
Yeah.
And people were sitting on it. And then that, you know how there's like a crown filling for that window ledge?
Yeah.
That whole thing just fell down. People were like getting too lit.
23. You're home still?
I am still at home, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, being 23, you can't really get out of the house, bro. Like, it's tough.
When I was 23, I already had like 2 different places that I was living in. First, I went to university, so went to Ottawa. So I was living there at 19, came back, was home for a minute,
Well, this is like for college, though, right?
Yeah, it was for college, but you still got to pay to get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then I circled back and I got back home and moved out again right away. Started renting a place in downtown Toronto.
In downtown?
Yeah.
Renting in downtown?
Yeah.
How much did you pay for rent in
At
downtown?
the time, it was $1,400 for a junior 1-bed, no parking.
Huh?
$1,400 for a junior 1-bed.
So you were there paying $1,400.
Yeah.
It was just you?
Yeah, of course.
And you were chilling, like...
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do at that age. You're not supposed to be staying in your parents' house forever.
I'm sorry. Where can you find me a spot that's $1,400 in downtown Toronto right now?
I'm sure there are plenty. It's possible. I know, the price might be a little higher, but it's...
Yeah, possible for me living in a box, like...
Well, if you want to live alone, that's kind of what you have to do. That's what I did.
I know, but your box was $1,400.
Yeah.
I can't find a box like that for $1,400 in downtown nowadays.
Well,
Hell no.
then I'll ask the question, why do you need to live downtown? You could live outside of Toronto if you wanted to actually live on your own.
Fair enough, but I mean, like, it's not easy out here, bro. It's like, it's way more expensive than $1,400 even outside of downtown.
Well, you guys always say, oh, it's not easy, but every generation has figured it out. So I think you guys should just figure it out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I get it. We should figure it out, but let's take a step back and realize what we're working with in today's economy. You really expect a 23-year-old or even anyone in their younger 20s to be able to like comfortably afford living on their own in a place like Toronto? Genuinely?
Well, it depends on what you're doing for money. What do you guys do for money? Make enough money to afford the place.
What was the job market like back then, huh?
It was the same as it is.
Oh, is it? Is it the same it was now?
It's more or less.
Brother, I promise you it is not. I go look up an article right now. It'll show you that nobody in Toronto is able to find a job at the moment. It's very freaking difficult.
Can they not find a job, or are they being too selective?
No. I think, have you seen the lineups outside of these job fairs?
Yeah.
Even CNE, for example, people will do anything just to get their hands on a job in general. But the job market is so saturated. Everyone's like, it's insane. There's no way you can like really afford living in a place like Toronto with just a job like that most people have. Like, I don't know, like if you're working retail or even like, I don't know, like Starbucks or something.
Yeah.
Like, you really expect a person work? Where did you work when you were living downtown?
Well, I had a pretty stable job.
What was your job?
A full-time property manager.
Wow.
At the time, making $60K.
That is solid.
Covered the rent and then some. But prior to that, I had to work in jobs that weren't that great. But I worked my way up to be able to make a good enough salary to be able to afford to live alone. And I don't think you guys care to do that. I think you want to just have the nice house without putting in the work that's needed to get there.
Brother, I promise you, we are putting in 5 times the amount of work that you put in back then. I promise you.
How?
And it's still not possible.
Dancing on TikTok?
Brother, I'm telling you that people who are trying to find jobs, a proper job, even then, it's still so difficult to find a place in Toronto. There's no way.
Again, what are you describing as a proper job?
Well, you had your property manager job, okay.
That came from grinding it out and
Right.
getting to a place where I was qualified enough to have it.
I think majority of my age range or even a little bit younger are definitely trying to figure it out like that. But do you think it's still the same amount of comfortability that you had back then versus now?
Well, how would it be any different?
Well, look at the state of the economy right now, brother.
The economy is great.
Are you lying to yourself,
What do
or
you mean?
are you rage baiting me? I'm not understanding what's happening here.
How is the economy not great?
Are
We've
we
got
just
the,
gonna
the
are we just
stock
gonna
market
put
is at
on
an
like
all-time high.
are we just gonna make ourselves blind, or like
Please explain how the economy is so bad. What are you scared about? AI taking your job? I mean, figure it out. Change what you're doing. Utilize the technology to get where you're going. Don't just complain about things.
listen, I'm not just complaining about things, but I'm not gonna disregard the fact that I'm living in something that is completely crazy. Like, this is like insane compared to your generation. Maybe you got okay, like back then you guys, like, the prices of houses were cheaper back then. You just said you got it for 1400. You think you could find a place like that at 1400 downtown Toronto anywhere like that? No, you can't. It's impossible now. There's zero way. You probably had more flexibility financially because, everything was cheaper and you had a decent job. You're getting paid 60K. But people that are getting paid 60K now, you really think they're going to have the same amount of fluidity that you had back then?
I will concede that inflation is a real thing, and whatever it was I was making then would not afford the same lifestyle today.
But we're lazy.
But at the same time, that's where you have to be finding a more higher paying job. And that's where going through the necessary steps to educate yourself, find the right career path, not just doing whatever it is you want to do because that's what your soul tells you need to do. You need to actually know where the money is and go for it.
That is 100% valid. But what if everyone already knew where the money is, and now they're not going to let other people know where the money is and then gatekeep it? For example, if I were to try and get into a career that's high paying and all that, imagine how many gatekeepers are gatekeeping this one thing, or people that just want to keep their positions and not even want to give any opportunities out in general. Isn't that a reality?
How much gatekeeping can really prevent you from going somewhere that you intend on going? What I mean by that is your generation keeps blaming everybody for things that they can't get instead of just figuring it out. If this door closes, that window is going to open. If that window closes, that side door is going to open. It's not just, oh, woe is me, everything is difficult and I give up.
Okay, I'm not gonna entirely blame it on out external factors. That's fine. But I'm not gonna disregard that my efforts internally are not being reflected externally. This is ridiculous. It's not possible. Even if I'm trying so hard and I know where the money is and I know where I need to go, even if I do all the right things, you really think that in a place like Toronto, I'm going to be able to keep a solid footing at all times? There's no way, bro.
How not? I see it all the time.
From where? You see it in kids like my age group?
Well,
you probably see it in your friends. Yeah, you guys had jobs since you were like back then, bro. Like, come on.
So, again, what is it that you can do differently? What is the solution?
That's a loaded question, man.
Well, that's what we're here for.
That's a loaded question. I mean, here's the thing. You can do everything you can internally to fix this solution, but sometimes you won't even find a solution, and it's more like something you're just settling for. It's like, oh, I just gotta live with the realities of, I tried my best, but like this world out here is just so tough to even like navigate and manage that it's like, I just have to deal with what I can deal with at that point. You can't live a comfortable life like that in here, at least. I don't think so.
But what gives you the privilege to say that you deserve a comfortable life? Don't you have to put in the work to get a comfortable life?
Of course.
It shouldn't just be handed to you. That's what you guys want. You just want everything handed to you.
You keep saying we want everything handed to us, but yet we're the ones out here working our off to just grab something from you guys that you guys don't even want to bless. It's so tough out here, bro. I don't even know what to tell you. It's like, okay, yes, fine. I understand your point. We're not just looking for the easy way out. We are trying. But at the same time, you guys had it much easier, bro. Trust me. You guys had it much easier.
I don't know about that. We didn't have all of these resources available to us. The amount of money your generation makes off of stupid videos online is crazy.
Is everyone my age just gonna make stupid videos?
I mean, you're all trying.
Oh
That's
my
all I
God.
see. I see
Oh my
little kids
God.
dancing. Like, come on. You guys are not taking advantage of all of these opportunities that exist.
And what are all of these opportunities that exist?
AI.
Okay, what am I
Instead
gonna...
of complaining about AI taking everybody's jobs, why don't you try and use AI to make a little bit of money?
You know what? I'm sure I've done that before, and I wouldn't be surprised if everyone my age or even younger thought about the same thing. But either way, when it comes to the real world, when we're really trying to take steps and try and find something, is it that easy?
You have to try and figure it out. You can't just say that it's not going to work and then call it a write-off.
You know what? I agree with everything you're saying. It pisses me off that you don't understand how difficult it really is. I get it. You're looking at it from your perspective. Oh, I grew up in Toronto, 60K property manager. I was living in like a nice thing. I figured it out. Why can't they figure it out?
Why can't you?
You make me so mad, bro. Listen, we can figure it out. It's not as easy, bro. It's not as easy as you may think it is because you grew up in an entirely different timeline. You wouldn't understand what it's like for us young folk to actually find footing in this world like that.
Every generation prior to yours had challenges and difficulty and figured it out.
So you're telling me it wasn't easier back then?
No, definitely not.
Really?
No. Your generation has everything available to you at the click of a button. You don't have to go anywhere to do anything. You can just order this. It shows up online. You don't have to actually socialize because all your friends are online.
With what money am I going to buy these subscriptions, bro?
With the jobs that you guys don't want to take.
That's even if I can afford the subscription because the f***ing house prices, man.
House prices are a byproduct of a growing economy. You're all living with your parents. You could all easily just not spend your money on all this nonsense and subscriptions and making sure your filters look nice on your stupid apps. You could do that, but instead you want to live a life of privilege and then complain when you don't have the things that you think you deserve.
It feels like I'm talking to like a brick wall. It feels like I'm talking to someone that just won't even listen to like what actually is going on in the perspective of the younger people. You know what I mean? I get it. You grew up in the era where everything, you figured it out. You had it, you went through your little path. But you think our path is the same thing?
Tell me how it's different.
Tell me how it's different. How is it not different? What's different about the world nowadays compared to back then when you were getting
that the access to things is easier for you guys.
Okay.
There's a lot more access.
Access, fine, but like how do you access without, capital?
Not everything is requiring capital. There are certain things that you can acquire simply off of grinding. If you were grinding, do you guys even volunteer anymore?
I do. I bet a lot of people do as well. At my age range, yeah. What are you gonna say about that?
God,
I definitely volunteer.
Stand corrected.
That's right.
I stand corrected because that is a way to gain skills without requiring some type of payment for it, and then you can parlay that into a job.
You know what? I see your point. Maybe younger people need to think outside of the box a little bit, but older people didn't have to think outside of the box like that because you guys kind of had it easier in the sense of like the path. The path seemed way more clear. It seemed way more accessible, and it seemed way more like it's simpler for you guys. I think you got a property manager job after uni or college, right? Like at a young age. How many people you think are getting that type of job right outside of uni like that?